Hey, today I'm going to look at NYFA classifieds. I'm looking for a new job. Let's see. NYFA is the New York Foundation for the Arts. Let's see what kind of art jobs they have available for me today. Okay, let's see. There's this fall-winter internship. I'm pretty sure I've seen this one before for Yancey Richardson. Gallery entry level, unpaid internship. They sponsor two. What do they mean by sponsor an internship? It's free work. Sponsor. They try to put like fancy words in front of it to make it sound like they're doing you a favor. Requirements: an interest in the administrative and registorial workings of a contemporary art gallery and at least 2 years of college. Nobody's interested in administrative and registorial workings of a contemporary gallery. That sounds boring as fuck. A high degree of professionalism, reliability, and willingness to learn and not get paid. Let's not forget that. You need a background in photography, studio art, or art history. It's not required, so the creative aspect of it isn't required, but doing free shit for them is required. Okay. Responsibilities, administrative duties, maintenance, assistance, and research. Wow, that sounds really interesting. Would be so psyched to do that for no fucking money. 2 days a week, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Oh, let's see what we get. An internship is unpaid. Interns will gain direct first-hand experience in the prominent NYC gallery. An intern may also arrange to receive academic credit. I thought these kinds of internships, you had to be in college to get them because no working adult could possibly do them. Okay, let's see this one. Part-time bookkeeper accountant, Arte East. This is in Astoria. This is just an accountant job. Not much to say about it. Oh, this is freelance, though. So basically, freelance means that they can get you to work and work pretty much as they want, but not give you any benefits. Oh, this is an interesting one. Executive Director, New Yorkers for Culture and Arts. This is in Brooklyn. It's full-time and permanent. Let's see. A senior executive, and all you need is a 4-year degree. Wow, to be a senior executive, that's pretty cool. New Yorkers for Culture and Arts is seeking dynamic. I wish the word dynamic could be blasted off of the face of the planet. Seeking a dynamic executive director to lead this newly formed Manhattan-based arts advocacy organization. The director will provide. It's funny how you can read this stuff and you kind of don't really know what these organizations are about. You have to read a few paragraphs in to actually unearth that information. There's a lot of words. I'm seeing a lot of words, not a lot of information. Oh, a quote here. Its mission is to ensure a vibrant future for culture throughout New York City. It's pursued through advocacy, strengthening of public policy and funding for the arts, and through advancing equality, diversity, and inclusion in order to benefit all New Yorkers. It still hasn't said what they actually do. They just keep using the word advocacy over and over and over again. They're using adjectives and not actually using verbs to describe what they do. We do this. It's just we're dynamic. We're advocating. We're strengthening. No, actual concrete example of what that is. Let's see if that's anywhere in this. I see some information. It still doesn't, it's too opaque to actually say anything. They're establishing new administrative and communication structures and will establish new approaches to arts advocacy through partnerships and broad outreach across all of New York's communities and sectors affecting the arts. They will build on baseline advocacy efforts that include advocacy services. God damn it. There's only so many times you can use the word advocacy, especially when you're trying to describe what kind of advocacy you do and you use the word advocacy to do it. Advocacy services, information and training, public forums and outreach, communications and coordination with advocacy partners, research and public policy. Oh, great, there's a board of directors. Nothing more effective than having a bunch of rich people that give you money making decisions. Okay, so in that, like, there's like a whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs. I still don't really know what this organization does except for it advocates for arts. Let's see what the position description is. Seeking a visionary and dynamic, God, they're repeating the same thing. Maintain a high profile in the city's cultural, government, and private sectors serve as a key point. I think this is a cover for a drug. This is like a drug front right here. If I was to apply for this, I'd have no idea what I'm actually applying for. There must be so many people that just like shoot off resumes like bam, 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 bam. And they just like kind of cut and paste and like figure out the language and just sort of like shoot them out. I'm sure that whoever gets this position is just going to be on Twitter all day. Like, let's not fool ourselves here. Oh, so to apply to this, I can email my cover letter, resume, and 3 references to their email address with the phrase, Executive Director, your name in the subject, and then I'll never ever hear from them again. No thanks. Okay, here we go. Here's another one. Studio Manager for the J. Seth Photography Studio. A reliable person of good character who is comfortable under pressure, must be willing to take direction and set aside your personal photographic tastes to accomplish a trademark aesthetic of the studio. So, I mean, this is probably the most legitimate job I've seen so far, but it is not artistic. In fact, they even say you must be able to set aside who you are as an artist to be able to do this, so good on them. I guess I can't really expect anything from NYFA anyway, but so far, literally none of these jobs are creative. These have all been doing, I guess, like, there aren't jobs for creative people. I think that's what it comes down to, is like, you're not going to be able to apply to do something creative. That's just not in the works in our culture. You either are like someone who's good at kissing ass and then you end up being an artist, or you're pretty much fucked. Maybe that's what people like kind of come on this just to like give up or something. None of this is, I don't want to, I would rather just stick at the shitty job I have right now than do any of this. Seriously, even if it paid me more. I don't want to have to go through a learning curve and like, and do all this shit and work with these people who probably use phrases like circling back and elevator pitch and what's the one I hate? Oh, there's one that I hate so much. Circling back. What is it? Piggybacking! Oh my god, I hate that word so much. That's another word that I just think should be like taken out of the English language. Piggybacking. Fuck! People have all these ways of speaking and using language to not say anything. I don't want to play the devil's advocate, and they're basically saying like, I'm going to state an opinion right now, but try to say I'm playing the devil's advocate. Let me try to assert myself without actually making any waves. Just, ugh, I can't stand that whole scene. So let's see, let me try to pick out something new. There's a gallery assistant, now operations manager in Boston Youth Symphony Orchestras. Let's see, what's something in New York? Curatorial intern. Let's see if this is actually a paid internship. Wow, they require you to have a 4-year degree and it's unpaid. God, fuck you. Are you fucking serious? This organization is called Art in General, and their website is artingeneral.org. Let's see what they say about interns, what this unpaid internship requires. It's in Dumbo. God, if you can afford an office in Dumbo, then you can definitely afford to pay a couple people. Minimum wage is 11 right now. You can afford that. If you have a fucking office in Dumbo, it's probably like filled with glass. Probably everything is fucking glass. I hate new buildings. They look so stupid. This is making me really mad. This is funny. It has a long history supporting artists early in their careers, but not their interns, because they don't pay them. You'll gain experience in production and installation of exhibitions. Wow, that's what I've always wanted as an artist. I've always wanted more experience putting up other people's art and not getting paid for it. You know what? Seriously, like, why would you ask someone to do something for free that's not at all creative? I mean, I understand, like, having passion projects. Like, I've been involved with things where I was a volunteer, but because I cared about it and I had some say in what happened at the space. How can you tell people to come work for you and they get nothing in return? They don't have any investment in what you're doing. They don't have any say. And I'm sure, I mean, I've been, like, in situations where I'm not getting paid because I'm trying to get experience for something, and nobody treats you well. It's like the less you get paid, the worse you get treated. Responsibilities include, but are not limited to, daily setup and maintenance of the gallery, assist with drafting and tracking of social media, website, and other online text. God, it's so fucking... I'm, like, bored just reading this sentence. Assist curatorial team and programs manager with research of artists, programs, and art institutes in New York and abroad. Bet that's like this much of the actual job, and you're probably just lugging a bunch of shit around. Coordinate communication with artists, curators, and the public at large. That's another one I don't like. At large. That's the thing about, like, all this office speak. There's, like, always, like, extra little, like, words you throw in there. At large. Track press coverage of past, current, and upcoming exhibiting artists. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I just want to read a bunch of, like, shitty Time Out New York. So the qualifications to not get paid are strong oral, written, organizational, interpersonal communication skills, the ability to manage time effectively, knowledge of contemporary art and its concepts, skilled in research, creating bibliographies and writing letters. Computer proficiency is a must, particularly experienced with Microsoft Office, Adobe Illustrator, and Adobe Photoshop. Art installation, audio, visual experience are a plus. Basically, you had to have gone to art school and, like, learned all this shit in order to not get paid. We require at least 2 days a week between Tuesday and Saturday. So if you want to do 3 or 4 days, they'll let you do that. Availability on Saturday and 1 more day is preferred. I mean, that's what I want to spend my Saturday afternoon doing. It can be arranged for school credit. That's funny because you actually require a 4-year degree, so most of the time people aren't doing internships when they're in a master's program. A monthly stipend will be provided for transportation reimbursement. Oh, that's nice. So 2 days a week, $11 a week. So a monthly stipend would probably be about $50 is what they would pay you to work 56 hours. A bargain if I've ever seen one. Okay, personal assistant in LA. Let's check out this one. LA, organization artist. Ooh, that's mysterious. Artist seeks full-time personal assistant. Candidate will be responsible for managing a wide range of personal tasks from scheduling to running errands as needed. Must be able to multitask and anticipate artists' needs. Must be able to work well under pressure while remaining flexible, proactive, resourceful, and efficient. That's a lot of things to be under pressure. Candidate will be organized and a high level of professionalism and care for confidentiality. It's kind of weird when they put in the application you to have professionalism and care for confidentiality. So you have to schedule and book all appointments, manage and coordinate all vendors relating to the house, including gardening and pool services, housekeeping, plumbers, etc. Fuck this person. Fuck this person. This isn't like an artist assistant. This is like being like a house assistant. I don't know how to... What is this? They don't want to deal with the They don't want to deal with the people that are taking care of their house. They're so, like, indirect in their life. They have so little time to do that. They want somebody else to take care of the person that is taking care of their garden. Manage all travel arrangements, creating itineraries as needed. I swear to God, like, I don't care what position I'm in life, I'm still gonna, like, book a flight myself. I mean, there might be things, like, I will never, if I ever have a lot of money, I will never, ever take another fucking bus as long as I live. I will never step on Megabus. I can tell you that much. But I can book my own goddamn flight. I'll always be able to book my own goddamn flight. So another part is assisting employer with technology issues. Must be comfortable troubleshooting. This is definitely an old person. Okay, this person is old. They're like, how do I turn on my computer? Running errands is needed, including picking up lunch, dropping off dry cleaning, picking up groceries, and returning purchases, etc. I feel so bad because I know so many people are applying to this right now. But this person is a nightmare to work for, I can already tell. To apply, please send resume, cover letter, and 3 references to artistShrla@gmail.com. artistShrla@gmail.com. This is definitely someone famous and has a lot of money and old. So this person wants a lot of confidentiality. They don't say who their name is or anything. I'm like, I almost want to apply this just to see who this asshole is. Let's see. Personal assistant. Archivist. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. I'm not going to read that one. Special events manager at Creative Time, New York City. Let's see. creativetime.org. Oh, this one actually lists how much you're going to get paid. $30,000 to $50,000. You need a 4-year degree, and you're in New York City. Let me see how much $30,000 a year actually works out to an hour. Okay, so $30,000. I would hate to be the person that applies to this job and they're like, yeah, we're going to give you the $30,000. We're not going to give you the $50,000. Sorry. So it's 52 weeks in a year. So that's $576 a week divided by 40 hours. Damn, that's that's $30,000 a year is $14.50 an hour before taxes. Let's see what they want you to do for that little money. Full-time special events manager to Yvonne, blah, 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 blah. Boy, they just love using words and not getting to the point of it. An integral member of the blah, 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 reports to the blah, 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 and works collaboratively with the blah, 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 and the blah, 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 the blah, 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 as well as across blah, blah, blah. Once again, not a single actually creative job has been listed on here so far. I mean, what do you expect? I don't want to keep reiterating it, but organized multitasker who thinks big but will remember the smallest details. An innovative thinker with exceptional interpersonal capabilities and production skills. Hopefully they don't need someone who can read out loud very well, because I'll fail at that. Works well under pressure. A lot of people, they want people that work well under pressure. Enjoys a collaborative environment. Basically, they want a person that doesn't exist. I mean, yeah, we can all challenge ourselves to do the best that we can, and I have a lot of social problems, and it takes a lot out of me to be nice, but I can, really challenge myself in that front. But if I'm going to, sit around and say, my skill is that I'm exceptionally nice and exceptionally creative, that's just not true. You can't have all of these things, because people that think big and also remember small details and are innovative and have interpersonal capabilities and production skills don't actually exist. You can't have Superman or Superwoman. You gotta be reasonable. And you need to set, meet, and track financial goals. Man, you just have to do everything. You have to be so good at everything to get this job. I just know, they hire people and then they just badmouth each other behind their backs. I know how it is. I work for a nonprofit organization. That's how it works. Someone gets hired that worked for some opera house, and then they just shit talk each other all day long. That's what it really means. That's what it really means when it says to have all these skills. They're like, you better be good. You better be good at shit talking, or at least be someone that's good to shit talk about. That's how these jobs work. There's only been one person that actually lists the salary. I wonder if they're all super low, or if they don't want people to realize that they'll pay someone else a lot more than they'll pay them. So this one is for Japan Society. I actually have a friend that works there. Digital content producer. Responsible for overseeing, developing, and updating content on Japan Society website. And then a bunch of words I don't really know. Traffic analysis. Essential duties. Create content and manage edits. Okay, this I actually appreciate this because they're actually like laying it down and being like, you're gonna do a bunch of boring shit. They're not trying to like wrap it up in like words like dynamic and circling back, and I don't mean to play the devil's advocate, but they're just being like, yeah, you're gonna schedule, produce, and edit the society's email marketing campaigns, program and institutional. Like, there you go. Write and post social media updates as needed. Oh god, that would be torture for me. That's like the kind of thing I lie about, where someone's like, "Oh, can you do like social media stuff?" And I'm like, yeah, I'm so good at that. Like, I'm the best social media person ever. Just watch me social media. Yeah. I'm social mediaing you right now. You don't even know it. That's how good I am. Oh, here's internship for 2017 to 2018. That's a while. Unpaid in Katona. At least, like, you're probably living with your parents or something if you're doing an unpaid internship in Katona. You're updating, maintaining membership database. Seems like a lot of membership stuff. So basically, they don't want to pay the person that's trying to get them more money. General support to the development department. The development department is the people that get the money. So they don't want to pay money to the person that's helping them get the money. You know, that's cool. That's cool. You're only doing what everyone else does. Don't worry about it. You're only, like, subtly making the world a worse place. Okay, let's see. Administrative intern. Sing for Hope. Oh, it's a paid internship. Woohoo. Well, let's see. They want a self-starter. Here are some of the adjectives that pop out to me. Enthusiastic. Small. Dynamic. Crucial. Self-starter, eager, comfortable. Wow, this sounds very exciting. There are all these adjectives to describe it. So this is support for youth programs. You know, anyone working with kids deserves to get paid. I mean, come on. That's not easy. 3 to 6 months, flexible hours, stipend available. They say available like you might not necessarily get it. I don't know, just your typical, this one's paid, but they said stipend. They didn't say anything about how much you get paid. Maybe they consider a stipend getting paid, which is stupid as shit, but whatever. Seasonal warehouse stock shipping associate at the Solomon Guggenheim Foundation. Boy, that sounds boring. I don't even like the Guggenheim. I think I've never seen a show I like at the Guggenheim. 32 hours a week? That fucking sucks. Damn. They consider that part-time? It's like just a couple hours under full-time. They probably don't give you any benefits or anything. Wolves. These people are really wolves. That's what they are. You know what? I'm gonna go through right now, because I'm getting bored of this. I'm gonna go through and just see if I see a single creative role. Frame shop apprentice. Social media intern, kill me now. Marketing and production coordinator, administrative coordinator, administrative assistance to director, development coordinator and database operations, office manager, crate shop worker, friendly salesperson for handmade fine jewelry boutique in Soho, crafty, I know what those people are like, crafty and fun, part-time helper for jewelry making parties, teaching artist. That's the most creative job that's been on here so far, is teaching. Fall gallery interns basically do a lot of work for us and don't get paid. Director of communications. Need mornings to audition? How about after school babysitting? Oh, got a babysitting job. Is this not an art website? I guess they just put audition in there to make it seem like it has something to do with the arts, but it's babysitting. Are you a bright, creative, and talented individual looking for a rewarding position while you follow your artistic pursuits? It's not like jobs where you're doing something interesting, creative, and artistic. It's jobs that won't interfere with you artistically, or jobs that are at an arts organization where you're doing something boring as fuck. Like, this is presenting itself as, You can be an artist by the day and then do this at night. So here's another one. Skilled fabricator. Exhibition staff for Doyle Auctions. Administrative manager. Symphony subscription sales people looking for flexible part-time work. Director, principal gifts. Oh, Jazz at Lincoln Center. Let's see. Jazz at Lincoln Center is one of the world's leading performing arts organization with a mission to entertain, enrich, and expand global community for jazz through performance, education, and advocacy. I don't know anything about Jazz at Lincoln Center, but I'm going to take a stab at a guess that they just show the same jazz musicians again and again and again that they know will actually bring them money. I'm sure they probably don't really advocate for anyone, especially no one young and upcoming. They probably just, put on shows that they know will pack the house, and that's about it. I don't know much about Jazz at Lincoln Center. That's just my guess, but correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, Wynton Marsalis. That's like one of the first people that they list. Yeah, he doesn't have enough fame and notoriety already. Let's just keep having Wynton Marsalis play over and over and over again. That's what the world needs. Just the same jazz musicians. I was like, I wonder if they're going to list Wynton Marsalis. First name on here, Wynton Marsalis. Let's just have the same people do the same thing again and again and again because it makes money. The director, principal gifts, must be a demonstrated leader who thrives in a high-performing fundraising environment. Nobody thrives in a high-performing fundraising environment. That's not like a thriving situation. That's like a survival situation. I wonder how you end up in a position like that. God, I hate asking people for things. That's probably one of my biggest issues. I just don't like asking people for things. It's art handler at ACLA. Client liaison, assistant director, development, Museum of Modern Art. Assistant director of development, front of house services. We all know that just means customer service. Executive assistant at Cadogan Tate. Boy, that's a horrible job. $40,000 to $45,000. Not very much money for a horrible, horrible job. This one's in Texas. Education intern at the Chinati Foundation. It's Chinati. Chinati? I don't know. I'm going to click that one. It's a paid internship. This is in Marfa, Texas. Salary range, 100. What does that mean? 100, how often? Honestly, reading through this website, I'd say everyone that wants to actually be an artist would be better off working at McDonald's and making their art on the side. I've not seen a single job that would support someone who is actually interested in the arts. Responsibilities include leading tours of the collection, preparing educational materials for youth and adult programs, assisting with K-12 classes, field trips, hands-on activities, writing curriculum, working with local artists, general office duties, and working at special events. Oh, it's $100 a week. An average work week is 40 hours? An occasional evening or weekend time may be required for special events, and they're giving you $100? That's offensive. Let me do the calculations on that. Let's say on average you work about 45 hours a week, because they also require you to do some nights, and they pay you $100 a week. That's $2.2 an hour. Bad. You're bad. You're bad people. Whoever put this up is a bad person. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to go on a limb and just fucking say that. $100 a week. You get to live in a dorm room. Fuck you. Gallery associate. Oh, they can't say worker or something. It's got to be associate. Let's see what this one's about. A dedicated associate to start immediately for a full-time permanent position. I'm sure we've all been in this situation before where you go into a gallery and there's some girl behind the counter and she fucking hates your existence. These are the people they're hiring. They're like, we want to hire someone a dedicated associate to start immediately at a full-time permanent position. You know that person's just going to be some surly, like I hate life. Whenever I look at NYFA, I get angry and I get depressed. All these, you know what the pathetic thing is? I could apply to every single one of these jobs, and I would not get called back for a single one of them. Head librarian, Leslie Dill studio internship. Oh, here's another unpaid intern. Oh, I'm not even going to click it. I can't even... no. Full-time second assistant to artist at Sisyphus Corporation. That's a really bad name for a corporation, because Sisyphus is the guy that kept trying to push the rock up a hill, and it keeps falling right before he gets to the top. This person needs not one, but 2 artist assistants. Tasks include, but are not limited to, coordinating household staff, packing bags, rolling calls, I don't know what that means, grocery shopping. What does the first assistant get to do? Because the second assistant gets a really raw deal. Please include a cover letter and resume. Please answer the 3 questions. What was the last art show you were inspired by? What is your greatest passion in life? What does a perfect day look like for you? Basically, people will be answering those questions with a bunch of fucking lies. What does a perfect day look like for you? Well, I'd get out of bed, and then I'd really support an artist to do shitty art, because I'm sure that's what you do. I should just start making resumes where I'd lie. That's what everyone does anyway. Administrative assistant, development manager, executive assistant. This is a website for artists, and it's basically how to do something on the side. It's just sad. It's just like assumed that the people that create our culture and decide so many things about the world are just pushed to the side and treated like the things we're interested in are a luxury. I just don't get it. Like, why do we have to live in a world where there aren't real options for people that are artists? Art came before all the other shit that you see in the world, besides like eating food and fucking. Like, art was around before money. Why do we just arbitrarily now decide that it's like this luxury that no one actually needs a job in? This is like a huge part of why our culture is so fucked up, is that no one respects artists. Let's just rank the importance of people by some arbitrary factor. You know, it all comes back to money. It all comes back to producing money. But you know what? That's not going to save us. People might just be chasing money and thinking that getting more money is going to be the answer to their problem, but it's not. It's not going to do anything in the long term.